Okay, we are broadcasting. We're on the teleconference line. We're going to do our ceremony quickly on the teleconference line just in case anybody wants to call in there. And then we're also going to do it on the phone tree. So let's do this very quickly. We have our Statue of Liberty, our usual marvelous, miraculous of the Confederation of Earth and Planets, Statue of Liberty, with our marvelous, miraculous near stars and our buildings, our flowers that are really us, and our Stargate. And we have also our multiple statues of liberty. And we already did our broadcast earlier today. We showed our sunrise, our dawn, let's call it our dawn sky. But here we have our multiple statues of liberty. Here we have our New Millennial Golden Rule, and the link to the website 5050now.wordpress.com. And here we have our marvelous, miraculous gathering place. And let's do our special greeting. Okay, let's listen. All right, and now we have our other important expert that we want you to hear. Let's just take a moment to get ready. And again, we want to say, for I give ye good doctrine, forsake ye not my, your, our New Millennial Golden Rule. The New Millennial Golden Rule has its components. Conceptually, the Panchat Raj, 50-50, and minority inclusive circle gatherings to make decisions in every local, global, universal neighborhood. The genuine progress indicator is an economics reform for economics, and the circle process to gather people in a way that is non-hierarchical and has ancient wisdom, ancient loving, kind wisdom. And then we also have that each one of you are the bringers, all the yous that are at 5050now.wordpress.com among the representatives, especially my family, your family, our family, are the elected, ELLECTED, the co-secretary generals, co-severas, equinox 2Qs, first are women and our youth, females and males. And after that, we have our important understanding that the Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe is always present, even in parts of the universe that seem to block them out. They are always present. They are always present. They cannot be blocked out, but people can be in extreme ignorance and act as if they have blocked them out. They can act as if they've blocked out the divine feminine, and they can create a society that tries to cope without it. It doesn't work, and it leads to disaster. How long or slow or fast that disaster is depends on Mother, Father, God of the universe's understanding of our understanding and our ability to cope. And we hope that we can love you all and be there for you. And we were not there for you well enough today. We had a problem with our computer, and that was to be expected because we apparently forgot some important human connections, and so the computer connection broke down. And I think that's probably why it occurred. I did some connections. I don't know if they're enough. I don't really know what's enough because I get nothing but no feedback. I don't know whether I'm overdoing, underdoing. I can't tell. It's very confusing for me what to know, what to do. and are giving me no signals whatsoever. I don't know. So I just do the best I can and hope Goddess God will make allowances.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not our new millennial law. Kongs on Pax Atlant us all risen. On this earth and all planets, circles connected and reconnected in balance.
Okay, I thought it was Patricia. Maybe May Sunflower, who wants to tea and Blacksmith. This is Anna Marie singing Christmas, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blacksmith, and Anahuac, Dakota. And I am also a French, English, and German. Itukuye Ayasin. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground, that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
country. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water, hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers, hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. And we'll say, Namaste, Mikatuya Oyasin, Mikatuya Koseveral, Kongsam Pox, Complex Culture, Tubest, Lyric, Tubest, Chinque, Chop Chop, Sayonara, Das Vidanya, especially Bahava, L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Souls, Salam, Shalom, Ubuntu, Mir Pacha Pacha Mir, Merci, Buenos Dias, especially today, but let's emphasize Mikatuya Oyasin today and Mikatuya Koseveral, and Tubest, Lyric, Tubest, Chinque, Chop Chop, Ciao, Das Vidanya, Sayonara, Schlandvag, and cheerio, good day, cheerio, if I forgot any, you include them. And let's say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper, all, both in each and one. That's Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. And let's say it again. Let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper, all, both in each and every one, as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. And now let's do again. We'll drink the milk of human kindness, starting with our on-cue breastfeeding for every 2-year-old, every 2 to 3-year-old, for 2 to 3 years for every holy baby girl and holy baby boy, all the holy baby girls and holy baby boys of my family, your family, all our family. And let's celebrate our milk of human kindness throughout our lives as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. I drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone now and as soon as possible, as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. Milky Ways, budding and blooming, marvelous, miraculously, heart lights lit, solar. Okay, and then we have, and I drank on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone. Now we have our elixirs of Purim and Passovers of Earthsz and INSZTEAD. Our fruit juices are sacramental wines. We have our Dedicanthians of Soma, and we have our Eleusian Mysteries Antians also, and we have our native maize and cocoa-based drinks, chocolate and eggnog, but none are more important than the milk. Let's say the milk is most essential. The milk of human kindness and the mother's milk to our babies. So our holy baby girls and holy baby boys. So let's drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone, now and as soon as possible, as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. Delicious, but not more important than the milk. And let's drink our water of loving, living plants that will reclaim and sustain our planet Earth and all our Earth to be. As paradisal planets, we are like the solar orbs and the Earth planets. We make the circle, we make orbs ourselves, and we know that time is 3-dimensional, and we travel in time and space as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. I drink to our Milky Way, solar heart lights, budding and blooming throughout our universe and universes, past, present, future, as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz. All right, and now we have our cakes, and we're going to have to turn back time for a longer time. I'm asking God for a little extension. Don't need too much. I hope you're all going to be all right. I don't know that you are. I am very, very worried about all of you, but let's hope that God will extend for a week or two. We'll extend our days of it one, but then make them a month of it one, and let's do it that way. So let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, starting with our Shekinahs and our young Shekinahs with age 37 and they're around, so it's going to be perfect. 38 is fine. Young women and young men, let's bring them together as Equinox Recuse, Co-Secretary General Skosivaraz with our, and we also do it this way. And starting with our vernal and our autumnal equinox birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days. And let's do it this way. We'll also say it again. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future. Again, the adjectives all in a circle each time. Budding and blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Milky Way, solar, heart lights always lit. All right, and then we have our Purim cookie, our Passover wafer. These are emblems of promise holidays. Form the circle as the hat, a gardening hat. And let's understand that we can say parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, and become all SZTARRS and the Vashinas of SZTARRS, all of us together, all the women, all the heritages, making them out of slavery and into equality for always, with all husbands, not just one. And then, but the good offer was begun, we have to continue it, and so, and extend it to all women and men. And so then we have our, why is our Passover wafer, our Last Supper, it's flat because we don't want Last Supper. We want every meal, me and all and me, to be happy and healthy for everyone and risen, and not under the rule of alpha males. Instead, we want to become risen communities, family communities, and symbolized by the risen females of the round bread and the oval bread of the risen males. And then we have Atlantis and all holy lands risen. And then we also remind you of the other foodstuffs. We have our rice and our oats. Very important to remember, Jinkwei. And then we have our consciousness currencies. So this very quickly. The Akashic record, our current generations of women, and our current young generations of females and males. We have all the various gens groups. We have Lakota and Cheyenne and Cherokee and Blackfoot and all the Native Americans, tribes, Iroquois and all the ones, and all the various names, and Running Brook and standing herons and whatever you want to give your names, of all the women, past, present, future of the Native Americans. Then we also have, equally important, we have all our Winnerian, Adelian, Morellian, Margilian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, and Feldmarian families, and all of their, again, all of the Sweet Sagans and Earthsz and Herzogians, Goldberg and Goldbergians, Cavalarians, Newcomerians, Millarians, all the kins of the kinds, Lee Winfreyans, Capadia Ghanaians, let's start with that, Capadian Ghanaians, and all the ones going back to Galilee, Atlantis, Vedic India, Africa, Asia, Europe, all the various places that our family from, Thrace, Christine and Isabella, oh, I'm getting the first names, and we have Brandon Skakel, Cheryl and Kenny, so forth, with Lichtian, Leithian, lots more, and we also have and Cassidian, and then we have all of our current generations of all these surnames of women, and our younger people of all these surnames intertwined in circles. And let's give you all our young females or young males around age 37. Doesn't have to be perfect. It could be up to 38. Let's extend this a little bit. God, you're going to have to. And let's give you all the big kisses. And then we have our big branching family tree. And we'll say all of the names. We especially want to start with the personal Myrtle, Rose, Marie, and Pearl. We have Hannah. We have Estrella and Libertia. We have especially most important for gathering us here, and so very beloved, Sarah, Harriet, and Ray. Ray and Sarah, Harriet, Ray and Clara, and Sarah and Jacqueline. We're including Jacqueline. Let's see how she's doing today. Let's say we have the Precious Internet, Risen Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Papa, Grandma Dorothy, Lynn, Rachel. We have Ione. We have Beth Ann. We have Hattie Mae, Goggy, and Lynn Gay. And we have Kasturba and Radha. We have Estrella and Ariadne and Venuses and Esther's and Mariams of the Blora and Leah's and Rachel's and all various names of our biblical and goddess heritages. And we have Brand Skakel, we have Eunice, Rose, and Jacqueline. We have Isabella and Christine, and we have Gisela, and lots more of various names. Sylvia's, lots of Sylvia's, the Sylvia's, and the and also Virginia and Dorothy and Virginia, another Dorothy and Virginia. I hope I said them all. And then we have all of our important women, so very important in our current generations. We have, they're not getting it, but I'm getting it for you. I continue to get it for you. We have Ma Patricia Sunflowers, Anne Marie Singing Crickets, Laura and Sophie. We have We have Marian, and we have Victoria Mariama, and we have Meredith and Julia Marie and I. We have Alexandra, Rachel, Juliana, Francesca. We have Remembering Beth Ann. We have Sarah, Susan. Let me give more some of our Marguerite. We have Anne and Candace and Ivy and Ivanka and Jennifer and Diana Sharon, all the ones there. We have more, and we have Silver Kindian. We have Susan, Sarah, Jodie, and Laura, and we have also Arlene and Sharon, Batya, Helene, and Remembering Pearl and Ruby. We have Sally and all the Deborahs. We have lots more Deborahs here too, and we have Annabelle and Lily and Irene and many more in the Akashic Record. Then we come back here down to our middle group here. We have Marcia and Denise, and we have all the Solomons, and so we have Sarah, Solomons and Zalmans. We have Sarah, and we have not Sarah. We have Linda and Robin and Gila, Ethel and Ray, and we also have Bernita and Krishnandra, Alicia, Patricia and Oprah. We have Megan and Carrie and Caroline and so forth. We have let's get back to the Feldmarian. We have Remembering Giselle and Dorothy. We have Meredith and Barbara. Barbara, so very important. We also have Georgina in this generation here at the Goldenbergs. We have among the Feldmars again Barbara and Susan and Barbara, Susan and Cheryl and Merle, and a lot more there. And we have our I said our Branskigel, and we also have Huerta and Dolores and Maria's, and then we Anna Maria's, and we also have Marjorie and Hillary, and then we have our younger people, so very important, starting with the young women, April, Angeline, Rosa, Edith, Hadass, Vanessa Salia, Hadass, Rosemary, Daniel, Juliette, Anastasia, Soma, Halal, Ashura, Aquarius, Natalie and Elisa, and Hesperus and Athena, and Rebecca and Sandra, Abby and Sarah, and our young men, so equally important. We have Ben and Harlan Smith Wesley, and Ross and Marcel, and Itani, and Jared, and Shannon and John, and Andre, and many, many more. And let's give you all the cases. Anoint you as Co-Secretary General, Faraz, and then let's give the kisses also to the older men. We'll bring them through the stargates after we bring the older women. All come back younger. As long as we tell our older men how important, older than 35 and above especially, how important to say parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, and la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche. Okay, and let's give you all the big kisses. All right, and then we have our Winston Towers group, so very important. You have Victoria Mariama, Julia Marie and I, Victoria Mariama, Julia Marie and I, Georgine, Laura, all the ones that I've mentioned all around there, and Vanessa, Sally, and Harlan Elizabeth. Very, very important. Let's give this all big kisses. And a big family tree again. Do this very quickly. All right, and then we also have to say, we'll pick parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future as equinox Q's co-secretary generals. We make the rainbow. We are the light. Okay, and we'll pick paradise on the smaller planets as equinox Q's co-secretary generals, co-secretaries. Let's show the eggs of egalitarian culture. 1, 2, 3, make the circle, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, make a daisy chain of women, then bring the young women and young men, co-anoint, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, improves the relationships of women, females and males, men and women, and egalitarian marriage, men, and each person becomes a co-secretary general, co-secretary, equinox recused, capable of making the circle and saying, I say, a parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future is equinox recused, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries. All right, and so then we also want to say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earths, past, present, future is equinox recused, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries. Say it again. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, past, present, future is equinox recused, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries. All right, now we've got that done on our teleconference line. Let's do it on our phone tree also.
When finished.
Okay, we are broadcasting again today. This is a big day for Native Americans, to remember Native Americans. We wrongly just celebrated as Columbus Day. This continent didn't need discovering by humanity. It always had a lot of humanity here, and now we think that there was some interchange between ancient peoples of a whole variety. Obviously, the Scandinavian Vikings came before Columbus, and then we also know from Europe, and then we also know that now there may very well have been Atlantis people that made it here. We don't know that for sure, but there's suggestions of that. So let's celebrate this holy day for the entire planet, not just one dominating group over another. And let's do the ceremony. I did have problems with the computer today. I apologize that I was not able to get you the regular kinds of tapes. I couldn't use the computer until very well until just a few moments ago. So now I'm going to make sure you get this and make sure that you know you have it. And I'll send you some emails in a little while with some tapes. But let's do the ceremony very quickly because you've seen it a lot before. And we did it on the teleconference line already. And you can see it on Google, YouTube in just a few moments. Well, in a little while after we broadcast and do our musical medleys also. After we make some outreach calls, we'll do our musical medleys as we always do. All right, so let's do our ceremony again. We just did it. We're going to do it again because you can't do this too many times, okay? And you're all represented. I've represented you all, even if you're all falling down and crawling on the floor. I'm not. I'm standing up. I'm not afraid. And let's assume that will continue. And let's hope so. It's up to the Mother, Father, God. I'm never going to be falling on the floor. I can tell you that. You're not going to see me give up divine democracy. I'm not going to do it. So let's say I want to do it on behalf of all of you. I am here to shepherd you into the New Millennium Golden Rule of Earth and all our planets. We have with us the marvelous, miraculous. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Even it's very dull in a lot of hearts. It's on. Okay, and we'll say. Namaste, and so we'll say it again this way. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one. Let me say that again. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one as soon as possible and now. And let's say Namaste, Mikatuya Oyosin, Mikatuya Koseveral, Kongs on Complex Culture, Tubes, Sedlerk, Tubes, Bahaval, Chaim, Shalom, Salam, Sol, Salam, Shalom. Very important right now, but there are lots of holy days that come around this harvest time on many, many cultures. And then we also have mirror, Pache mirror. We want to say merci, buenos dias, Ubuntu, ciao, Shlanzavag, Chinque, chap chap, sayonara, cheerio, good day. I think I said Tibes, alert, Tibes. If I forgot any, you include them. And let's say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, to prosper all, both, and each and every one. As Equinox Q's Co-Secretary General, Co-Chevraz of our Milky Ways, our heart lights on, budding, blooming, and marvelously, miraculously, always. And let's say it again. Let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both, each and every one, now and always, as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, past, present, future, of our budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Milky Ways, solar, heart lights always lit, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, Equinox Q's, and as that's what we are. And then let's say, let's drink the milk of human kindness on behalf of all, both, and each and every one, representing all, both, and each and every one, now and as soon as possible, starting with our, so very importantly, with our every holy baby girl and every holy baby boy, all our holy baby girls and holy baby boys of my family, your family, and every family. Don't forget that you are. Don't doubt yourself. Don't lose it. Don't think that you've stuffed it away for always, even if you're stuffing it away for right now. We're going to extend the time. I'm asking Goddess God to extend the time. I hope Goddess God will. Goddess God's making it harder on us, and it's much more brutal because we're delaying this. But let's see if Goddess God will give us a little break and extend it. And let's celebrate the milk of human kindness throughout our lives, past, present, future, as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. And I drink on behalf of all, both, and each and every one, representing all, both, and each and every one, with our Milky Ways, our solar lights always lit and always marvelously, miraculous, budding and blooming. Put all those adjectives in a circle. As Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, Equinox Q's, very delicious. Now we have our elixirs of Purim and Passover. We're on the time of Yom Kippurim. Now we're going to extend Yom Kippurim so it's more than one day, because you know what? You need the days of atonement, not just a day of atonement. So we're going to extend it a little and hope God will help us to do that and pray. And so we have our fruit juices and our wines. The fruits of the earth that make both. We also include the Vedic Soma and the Antheons of Lucian Mysteries, the chocolates and cocos of Latin America, the mazes of North America, the drinks of the eggnogs, but none are more holy and sacramental than the milk, and the mother's milk and the milk of human kindness. So let's drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone, now as soon as possible, as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. Delicious, delicious. I drink on behalf of all, both, and each and every one, representing all, both, and each and every one, now and as soon as possible, as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries, of budding, blooming, gardening, and growing always in our solar lights, our Milky Ways, and our hearts lights, solar always lit, and marvelously, miraculously. And we have our cakes. Let's celebrate. Let's do it this way. Let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, starting with our vernal and autumnal equinox and our solar dates in between. Let's make the circle. And starting with our Shekinahs and our young Shekinahs around age 37 and younger. Does not have to be perfect. If you're edging up to 38, it's okay. It's okay. Goddess God, I think, will extend it for you. I want them to. I want Goddess God to do that on behalf of you, and in mercy for you all. So let's make sure that we have that happen, and let's celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, and name days, and holy days as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries of our Milky Ways, our budding, marvelous, and miraculous flowers within us, always our solar heart lights lit. Okay, we're going to make them brighter. We need to make yours a lot brighter so you can connect with one another and understand each other's values, which is infinite. And let's say it again. Let's say it this way. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, and name days, and holy days with our Milky Ways, our solar lights, our budding, living flowers, always in a circle, all these adjectives for all of you, past, present, future, your Equinox Q's, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretaries. I represent you. You're here because you're part of me. You're here. Okay? You're a part of me. You're here. My love is holding you up. Then we have our Purim cookie and our Passover wafer, our Earthsz cookie, our Easter's is for the promises of 50-50, of holy lands and of eternal life without being mortal, becoming immortal, becoming children of the Mother, Father, Goddess God, so love-powered that we are immortal. So and heavens on earth. So we have them both, and we celebrate them both. But remember, these are holy days of promises. We want to make them fulfilled. So we symbolize this by the risen round bread for the females and the risen oval bread for the males, celebrating all the Atlantis and the Galilean and Vedic and Persian and European, Thracian, African American, European, all Native Americans, all the various traditions. Let's put them together, and we are the risen days of Atonement. We will share these many places, and you'll eventually come soon together here online, and then we'll share these in many places on all our sacred grounds. So there we have them, and we also want to remind you that it's just about wheat. We have our rice and our oats, or different heritage traditions. We thank you, Mother Nature. And then we also want to do our consciousness current, our eggs of egalitarian culture. Our eggs of egalitarian culture. Very quickly right now, we have 3 eggs. We start with 1, then one person could call the circle by saying purity, not patriarchy, past, present, future. La leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche. That makes a circle. Then we have 2 women, and then have 3, then make it 4 through 7 through 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Make the daisy chain. Then gather 2, co-anoint one another as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, apotheoses as goddesses, like those of Star Trek, Stargate, and Star Trek combined. Then we have the powers of people to travel in time and also to be kind and healing to one another almost without effort. And then we have the same thing for our young people together, our 5 young women, 5 young men. Around age 37 and younger, doesn't have to be perfect, can be up into 38. Let's expand this a little bit, because you're clearly a little bit retarded and you have a right to be. The media dumbs down very badly. You're getting a seductive selection. You think it's real. It's very confusing for you. Let's help you out a little bit. I believe that God wants to help you out a little bit. So I think God will. I sure do. So I'm asking God to do that for you. And let's co-anoint you all as co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, equinox GQs, and there you are qualified, and as equinox GQs, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, to share the new millennial golden rule and gather your circles and wherever you are, and protect yourself by using those phrases too from any harm. And here we have that makes the relationships of women improved, of women and men improved. That is females and males. Egalitarian marriage is sustained. And males and males relationships improve, less exploitation, less war, less crime, and also the importance of each one of you, each person. It can start the circle by doing what I do, just saying parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, and la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche. So very important for our culture here, which is a little bit behind some of the other places in the world in terms of breastfeeding properly 2 to 3 years on cue. Okay, and so we've done that, and now we have our consciousness currencies. And here we go by the gens names, the surnames. I sometimes forget some, but let's include everyone that you've ever known, that I've ever known. Let's include everyone. We include everyone. Okay, let's start with our women who are on the Akashic record. We have our Cherokee, Lakota, Cheyenne, Iroquois, all the Native American tribes, all their beautiful names, Running Brook and Dappled Deer, and whatever the names that various Native women have had for millions and millions of generations. We have the Adelians, the Morellians, the Winnerians, the Margulians, the Silver Golden Kindians, the Zalkindians, the Feldmarians, the Herstons, Herzogians, Sweets and Saganins, Iona. We have Lee Winfreyans. We have Herrera Chavezes. We have the Brannock Skakel, Hannah Fitzgerald, Kennedy Cuomo Shrivers, and we have the Howells and the Casidians, and many more of our intertwines. Did I say Capadian, Gandhians? I hope I did too. So all of these various surnames and all intertwined, including Lichtian, Leithian, Goldbergian, Caballerian, Malarian, Nucumbrian, all the kins and the kinds, if I've forgotten any of the surnames, you include them. And then we also do that for all the current women of our known family community. You know who you are, so importantly, and connecting Mariams and Esthers and all the various goddess names and biblical names, you include them all. And then we have the same for our younger people, our females and the males. Around age 37 younger, doesn't have to be perfect. It could be like 38, even up to 30. Let's get them all in and help them by before they reach the age of 40 to be delivering the new millennial golden rule as the way of life for this and all our planets, as Co-Secretary General Earthsz, and that is so important for the women. That is so important for the women. The women need reparation. They've been so mind programmed. It's really frightening. So let's fix that. And we also say to all the men who are over age 38 and over, say parity, not patriarchy. Say it with every man you interact with every day, okay? And then and remind people that they may not have been breastfed right. So remind them, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche. And let's give you all the kisses. And as I said, we had some problems with our computer today. Didn't get you some of the tapes that we usually like to send you. We'll send you them in a little bit. But we did get the messages for you on the phone tree that we were able to do. We hope you got them all. You all have them on all your various extensions. So listen to them. And many of you know the various extensions. We put some new messages on some new extensions today. So let's make sure everybody's listening to them. And here we have our Winston gathering group here that is in the heartland and connected with so many in the various surnames that I've given. We have getting ahead of myself. Let me do our larger family tree first, and with our first names. We have Myrtle, Rose, Marie, and Pearl, and we have our Native American heritages. We have our very important gatherers, Sarah Harriet and Ray and Sarah Harriet, equally with the Batia and Estrella and Hannah and Kasturba and Radha and all of the various names of Atlantis, Ariadne and Venus and Julia's and all the romantic unis and all the various names of and of course the names going back to the Middle East and around the world, the Hindus too, Mariams and Esthers. All the cultures have both these names in the names, and all various biblical and goddess names that are included in their names. And then we have let's see, we have Precious Antoinette, did I say, as Ray and Clara, and Grandma Marguerite, Grandma Popper, Ray and Clara, it's Harry and Jacqueline, Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Popper, Annette, Lynn, and Sharon, and we have, I'm sorry, Rachel, Lynn and Rachel. And then we have also Gaugy and Lillian Gay and Hattie Mae, and we have Gisela, we have Anna, we have Beth Ann, we have Isabella and Christine, and we have I think I said Kasturba and Radha, and we have Rose, Eunice, and Jacqueline, and many more there, and we have Dolores and Conchitas and Anna Marias and all the various Hispanic and Latin, and then we have I said the Celtic, and then we also have our Anglo-Saxon. We have our another Dorothy, and we have Virginia, and a lot more. We have all these intertwined women, and we have Sylvia, and we have all the various Lichtians and Leitians, and Bonnie, and we have Shirley and Malka, and we have Barbara and Bessie, and we have a lot more. We love all of them, okay? And Judy, and we also have Judy, and we have May, and May is the next group, so let me come back to the middle group here of our current women. We have, so very importantly, Anna Marie singing Ma Patricia Sunflowers, Anna Marie singing crickets. Very important today. What do you think today is? That was not exactly a fun time for the Native Americans, huh? When all the conquistadors came with their cannons, you know, and their diseases. Let's wake up, okay? And then we have, and they weren't doing so well in Europe either. They just finished the bubonic plague. So so let's say the names of all of our family, the Native American names. So we have our that I just gave, and we have and also Sophie and Laura and others there. We have our current ladies, so very important of our Judeo-Christian and Atlantean heritage, Marian and Persian and Marian and Victoria Mariama and Meredith, Julia Marie and I, Barbara, remembering Judy, and we also and we also have Rachel and Alexandra, Rachel, Juliana Marie, and Alexandra. We have remembering Lee and Thelma and more, of course, Rose and Adele and Lillian and Lucille and all the ones connected to Antoinette. We have also Bacheline, Arlene and Sherry, and we have remembering Beth Ann. We have Sarah and Susan, Laura and Jardine, and we also have I need to say more of the Margolian family. We have Leah, we have Jennifer and Sharon and Joan, and we have Anne and another Anne and Ivanka and Ivy and many more. Margolina, and I gave some of the Silver Golden Kidney just now. There's more there too. There's Carol. There's more. There's a whole bunch more there. Lots more. And then we also have our Zalkindian and Solomon Kindian. So we have Denise and Marcia, remembering Risen Rose and Marie and Annette and a lot more there, and also connected to Solomon. Hannah Green, Hannah, remembering her, and with remembering Sylvia. And so we have Robin and Linda and Gila, Gila, no, let me put Sela in the younger generations, with Gila and Ray and Ethel and a lot more there nearby. And we have Vernita, Oprah, Patricia, and Alicia and Krishnandra, and we have and I said that we have more Marias and more Doloreses, Gangajitas, and this current generation. We have Carolyn, Kathleen, Megan, and Carrie and Maria, and many, many more in that family tree of our Irish and Celtic. And then we have also our Anglo-Saxon. We have intertwined with our Atlantis and our Galilean and Middle Eastern and all the various Shushan. And let me, before I get to that, let me get to the Feldmarian. We have remembering Giselle and Dorothy. We have Merle and Andrea and Meredith and Barbara and Susan and many, many more there. And then, as I said, we also have Marjorie and Hillary. And then we have our young women. So very, very important. And did I? Let me also, before I go on to them, let me say Mary and Carrie and all the kids and kinds. We do include Donna and Diana. We include my neighbors, your neighbors. We have Georgine, Naomi, Irene, lots more there, and all the Juniors or Shells there. We've got Judy and May and Louise and Elizabeth and Anne and Ruth and a lot more of my neighbors, your neighbors, all the ones that are our family too. And then let's have our young people, so very important. And also I neglected to mention Sally up here in the middle generation, Sally and Paula and Deborah, lots of Deborahs, and remembering Ruby and Pearl, the Pearls, and let's remember all of them and include all of them. And then we have our younger generation, so very important. We have Angeline and April and Angeline, Rosa and Edith, with Hadass, Stacy Anastasia, Vanessa Salia, and Stacy Anastasia and Hadass, equally in a circle with Soma and Rachel, Marie, Daniel, Juliet, and Hesperus, Athena, Aquarius, Rebecca and Sandra, and Halal and Ashira, and Lisa and Natalie, and Abby and Sarah, and Beth, Robin's daughter, and we have Mary, Sally's daughter, and we have Amber and Laura, my neighbors, and there's many, many, many more. We have Abigail, and we have Jasmine, and many neighbors of my family and community of yours and mine. Then we have our young men, so equally important. We have, did I say Aquarius? I think I did. Then we have our young men, so equally important. We have Ben and Andre and Hollis, Wesley, with Ross and Marcel, with Yishai and Ross and Jared and Atani and many, many more. I've neglected to mention some, I'm sure. And Shannon and John and Andre, did I say them already? And lots more. And so let's give you all the big kisses. And then as soon as we do that, we can bring the older women back into contact through the stargates as young women. And then we, of course, we've all been holding our men over age 38 or 39, 40. The men a little bit older, up into older ages of our culture, saying parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, every time we see that every day. Okay, as much as we can every day. Say that to them every day. Every older man has to hear that praise for you. Parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, and say la leche, because the odds are they weren't breastfed very well either. Okay, so and let's then also we include the older men of our families coming to stargates too as younger men. And by the way, just because this is an anniversary of a passing date doesn't mean that it's all over. What we need to know is that time is fuzzy. Let's work on this now very quickly so that before the pseudo-election occurs, everybody knows that you're the ELLECTED and you're acting like, and so am I, and let's do that. And let's not let this opportunity pass. We can become risen on this planet. We don't have to destroy ourselves or destroy one another, make each other sick. We can have wars and horrible things happen. Let's be Atlantis and all our holy lands risen. As that connects your cues, Secretary General, and let's give you the big kisses. And then we also have our Winston Towers groups are very, very important, and all the heartlands that spread around them there, and they connect with all of you all over this land of North America and also throughout all the world. And let's say, of course, also is in Israel and all those in India and all of those all over Asia and China and various places that our family has migrated. We've had people, and we have them there in all these areas right now. Europe, everywhere. Okay, let's give the big kisses to them. Here's Victoria Mariama, Julia Maria and I, and Vanessa Sally and Harlan Taviz, and we have the neighbor Georgine and Laura, and we have lots of all of our family ranges all right around there. Stacy and Stasia, and there's Jamie and Robin and the younger generations, and lots of people are right nearby. So let's give you big kisses. All right, and then against our big branching family tree, let's do that. All right, and then we always say, let's pick parity with clarity. Let's pick parity, past, present, future. We are the lights, we are the rainbows, we are the fruits. We make the beautiful colors, we make the rainbow, all the hues of humanity and all the colors of light. And let's say no to patriarchy, past, present, future. Let's say yes to parity, paradise, fun. Listen to all our planets as equinox, your cues, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries of our Milky Ways, our S stars and our E stars, and within us our heart lights lit and always budding, blooming flowers, marvelously miraculously within us, ever young. And let's do this. All these adjectives as a circle, and let's do that. Just make that round circle that you see in the bowl. And then we could say very quickly, as we always do, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, past, present, future, as equinox, Q's, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries. And did I think I said everyone's name? Did I say Don and I? I'm not sure, but I said say all the kins and kinds. I don't want to leave anybody out. Not everybody agrees with me. That's not a problem. God is God, doesn't care. God is God wants to give you blessings, but God is God wants you to have an open mind, an open heart. You have to start listening and sharing and gathering. So let's do it this way, and let's say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of Earth and our Earths, past, present, and future, as Equinox Qs, Co-Secretary General, Co-Secretary. So I think I've said all your names. You know, you're all sister Kazinas and all young sister Kazinas and young cousin brothers. You're all Equinox Qs, Co-Secretary Generals. You're all the elected. Let's go ahead and put this message on the phone tree. We already did the ceremony on the teleconference line also. That's where you should come together. You know, it's 641-715-358 circle, access code 773342. All right, and let's go ahead and send this message. And you know, I did earlier play this. Let me play these for you once again, because I played them when I did the teleconference.
That's when she came back and started to sell her head with the blood center. Her only was to trap her children. That's what she did. Her trying something just to get along, get enough to eat. She was almost very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
And let's play this.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my new millennial law. Kongs, Anu, Pax, and risen. On this earth and all planets, circles, connected and reconnected in balance.
Okay. I thought it was Tricia. Lady May Sunflower, who wants to repeat a block. This is Anna Marie, singing Christmas, and I am Charity Steiner, Blackfoot, and Helen Watson, the Planetsz. And I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of ALLTIMATE, as the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
And we play the shofar horns every day when we do the musical medley also at the beginning. And we will in just a few, after we make our outreach calls. Okay, we'll send this message to the phone tree.
To save that, your greeting has been saved. Please enter your act. Please wait.
Welcome, Shekin, Shekina, and related youth and family, light-hearted co-presidents. Hi, youngest generation.
There is no such extension. Please try again.
Hi, youngest generation. So very precious and marvelous, miraculous FSRSs and ESRSs. As you can see, I'm having a computer problem. There is a computer problem occurring that I'm working on.
Speak after the tone. Press pound when finished.
Hi, younger generations. I'm broadcasting on this time, and of course, I did earlier in the day. I did the ceremony twice on the teleconference line, which isn't accepting recordings anymore, but is the place for us to gather in real time, and that's where I really want you to come. 641-715-3580, access code 773-343-358, circle, access code 773-342. And I did it twice there, once earlier today and just now, and now I also did it on the phone tree just now on 2223452345. So I stood up for you all over the place, and I'm not going down. I'm very, very buoyant. I am buoyant. I'm as buoyant as a beach ball on the ocean, in a pool. I am buoyant, and nothing can bring me down. I don't believe. So you have me working for you. I won't say in your corner. I'm in your circle, and I represent you all. Okay. So you were represented as Equinox Q's Co-Secretary General, Co-Secretary for us. Here's the marvelous miraculous milk. Here's the marvelous miraculous heart light with the pictures on it. The heart light Julie Henry gave me, even though Julie Henry is having trouble expressing her heart light, but she has one. We all do. And here's the marvelous miraculous budding blooming flowers and water. And here's the marvelous miraculous cakes with the world globes on them. Now, I did the ceremony. I'm going to say some of the names very quickly now, but you can listen to 2223452345 for the freshest broadcast. And you can also watch it on Google and YouTube. After I have made these phone calls, I'll do the musical medley, and then it'll be available as a video again as the one earlier today was. Now, I had problems with the computer today. I didn't send you the tapes that I'd like to send you, the fresh tapes. I will in a little while, or certainly you'll have them by tomorrow. I have to see what the computer's able to do. It is mostly fixed. It is mostly fixed. The computer problem is fixed. And now, if all we can just fix our world just as easily, and we can, because we have the New Millennial Golden Rule, and that's a really quick fixer-upper. Okay, so it's too quick. Okay, so let me just say all the various names I usually say in the Akashic record. The generations of women. We have Myrtle, Rosemary, and Pearl, and we have. Of course, it's Harriet and Ray, and it's Harriet gathering us. So very importantly, with equally with Hannah and Estrella and Libertia, and we need to get the real names there, but the goddess appellations are fine. And Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Ray and Clara, Harry, Jacqueline, Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Grandma Grandpa, Dorothy, Lynn, Rachel. And all the ones that I usually say of all the various heritage groups, Kasturba and Radha and Ariadne and Julius, Mariam's, Esther's, all the ones I usually say, all of your names, all of your various goddess names of the family of women, and various biblical names, all the various nature names, all of the names on all of the various heritages of humanity, heritages of youth that we are in fact related to. Then we also have all our current generations of women, so very, very important. We do start with today, especially with Anne-Marie singing crickets and Ma Patricia sunflowers, and Anne-Marie singing crickets, Laura and Sophie. And I did talk with Anne-Marie briefly today, and she knew I was going to be doing the broadcast. Now, she's struggling. Anne-Marie was in tears with me on the phone yesterday, and she is struggling because you let her down, and she's kind of let herself a little bit down, and the family's not gathering. Same problem you're having. But, you know, I'm gathering on behalf of all of you, and I don't forget any of you, and my memory is excellent, and I know how important you are. So as long as I keep doing this, I think God will continue to extend the time for you, and you will eventually catch on and join me in doing this. Okay, and then we have also equally very important, we have Marion and Barbara and Meredith, Julie, Marie, and I. We have Jennifer, and we have and all the ones that go with. We have the Marguerite, the Silver Golden Kindred. We have Susan. We have Sarah. We have Marcia. We have all the ones I usually say. We have all the Feldmarians, Cheryl and Merle, and we have Meredith, and all the ones I usually say, and all the other heritage groups that I usually say, and Vernita, and Krishnana, and Oprah, and Alicia, and all the ones that I usually say. Patricia, and also Howell, and all the ones, including Marjorie and Hillary, and all the ones I usually say. Then we also, so all the way back, all the way to Unitarian, Thracian, the Persian, the Vedic India, especially Galilee, and also it's very, very important for our heritages, and lots more. Okay, and we have also, I forgot to mention in the broadcast, so let me say them right now. I did forget to mention it. Lee, I spoke with a little bit earlier today. Lee and Mazu, her grandmother and her current mother and her mother, Shuan, and lots of neighbors' names I gave, Georgine and Laura, and I've got Judy, and there's many, many more, May and Louise and Elizabeth, lots more neighbors that are family too. And then we also have all you young women and all you young men. There's April and Rosa, Angeline, and Edith, and there's equally important in the circle with them, Hadass, Vanessa Sally and Hadass, and Soma, and Rachel Marie, and Danielle Juliet, Stacy Anastasia, Soma, and Jennifer, all the under circle, with Aquarius, with Hesperus and Athena, and Stacy and Alisa and Natalie, and Alisa and Halal and Ashira, and Rebecca and Sandra, Abby and Sarah, all the ones that I usually say, and there's many more. There's Beth, and there's Mary, and, Sally's daughter, and there's Zila and Israel, Gil's daughter. There's lots more. Okay. Then we also have all of you young men, so equally important. We have Ben and Harlan's of his Wesley with Yeshai, Harlan's of his Wesley, and Ross and Marcel, and Etani and Jared, and Ben and Shannon and John, and Andre, and lots more. If I forgot anybody, you include them. Did I say in the middle generations, so in Mary and Carrie, very important. Do we also include all the kins and kinds? Don't doubt that I do. I love them all. I love them. I've already left messages, special messages for them. They know that they're getting them. I want to make the bridges, but people are in habit. They're in a state of habit. They're in a habit of excluding me and not hearing me, and it takes a while, but I believe that God will extend the time. I am not giving up. We have entered a very, very dark time. We have an extreme erosion of the eternal feminine in the United States, much more so than in other parts of the world. We're the only place in the world that doesn't have family leave. It's the only place where mothers are so completely alienated from their children. That is becoming the norm in the United States. We also rank one of the lowest now in representation for women. So all of this shows that our women's movement was both reactive and hijacked, co-opted, and we had very controlled media, and important understandings were not given to the people of this part of the world. And you have them, you've had them for a long time, and you don't have to be afraid to say them to anybody. And you say parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future. Stay away from patriarchal medical people. My darlings, whether they are female or male, they could kill you. If they're operating in that hierarchy, that means that there's a lot that they're not paying attention to, mostly in terms of family and community support systems. They're not paying any attention to it. They don't understand the social psychology that they are pushing younger people into, putting them on pills, giving them surgeries. All people, they're doing this to older people too, younger people, middle-aged people, is all wrong. And there's loads of chorus of people saying this all over, but they're not heard on the major media. Okay, they have their own media, and they're all over the place, and they're saying this. But you're dealing with some of the misguided people. Stay away from them. If you have any contact with them, you tell them that you're their doctors because you have the Numeric Golden Rule, and that'll cure everyone. Okay, and you're their nurses and your doctors, and you're both. Okay, and there's no status hierarchy between them anymore either. Okay, now I love you all, and I also say the names of the older men who we will bring through the stargates after we bring the older women. They all come back as younger. Now, we have some anniversaries going on here, and obviously we have a major holiday of the Jewish heritage. And it's very, very ominous for those of my family and your family who have not caught on to this yet, and that's most of you. Your mothers are just blocking you, obstructing you. I don't know what's going on. Their minds are programmed in the wrong direction. Some of them want patriarchy, and some of them want egalitarian equality, but they're so dumbed down and don't learn how to listen, and so confused between tokenism and parity that they can't understand that they're being shilled. They're being given a line of bullshit, and they're buying it. And so now that's very dangerous for them. It's very dangerous for children. It's very dangerous for youth. But you know, it's also very dangerous for men. This is what a lot of men don't understand. Do men want a world where women can't think? Do men want a world where everything is mechanized and nobody is humanized? Do men want a world that destroys itself over time, whether it's fast or quick? Do they all want to be on medication all the time? Do they all want to have no food? Do they want to have global warming, burning everyone up like the dinosaurs in the movie Fantasia? Is this what they want? Because that's what patriarchy is giving them. So this is just as cruel to men. And I'm not speaking against men. Patriarchy harms both genders. Only egalitarian equality is favoring both genders. Okay? And that's the way it works. So you understand this. I'll just leave this message for you. Don't ever Felice and Royer and Sweetheart. Royer and Sweetheart and don't ever Felice. Say hi and hugs to Heather and Jan and Heather. And on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Holly and Tiger, Whiskers, Buttermilk and Blackie, Black and Buttermilk, Lucy and Felix, all the fauna, butterflies, birds and bees, and all the people too of our local, global, universal neighborhoods, past, present, futures, Equinox, GQs, Co-Secretary General, Co-Secretary. And I always say, and this is very true, Vanessa Saudi and Harlan Livis Wesley, but the rest of you need to get your Stargate and Star Trek names combined too. And you're all codimes because you make your gems make a rainbow together. That is the color of a diamond. A diamond gives off a rainbow. Now I know Vanessa and Harlan this. I think their birthstones are diamonds. Harlan I know for sure. But the rest of you have equally important. If you create the circle together, you create the diamond prism effect of a rainbow. Okay, and I don't know all of your birth dates, but you know I know the dates of your names associated with the very holy days that they are associated with. They're all associated with springtime holy days. Now, not only is this the springtime, the southern hemisphere, once you become deliverers of the New Golden Rule, it's always springtime, wherever you are in the universe. Okay, and you just deliver it to everybody, and don't let anybody stop you, and don't let anybody get in your way. And if your mothers don't want to come together, get some other woman to call me as soon as you can that will be protective to you so that you can break the mind-forged manacles that your mothers are now pushing onto you, and without recognizing that they're doing that. If you've lost good contact with your mother, if you're alienated from her, if you're upset with her and other sister casinos, older women of your family, don't hesitate to contact me, because I'm not against anyone. I want to lift everyone up, and what we need to do is help heal their inner goddess, their nurturer, and their sense of balance, and their sense of the righteousness for which they need to say to older men, look, you've had 3,000 years of hegemony. You think this is a good idea? Do you really think this works? You had 3,000 years of peace culture under in Atlantis. No wars, everyone thrived. Science, arts, sciences, humanities, music, everything was there. Then you lost it when patriarchal, everybody got diseases, wars. Why don't you wake up? We already know who the Statue of Liberty is. She's from Atlantis. Okay? Now let's open the stargates. Our family's connected to the most important geobiologist and the most important astronomer family of the late 20th, early 21st centuries. We're in contact with Carrie. We're in contact with Mary and Carrie. We're in contact with all of them. Okay? I love you. You call me 24/7. And if I forgot to say anything you included, did I say, here's the marvelous miraculous milk, here's the marvelous miraculous budding moving flowers and water, very marvelous miraculous, but not so marvelous miraculous as you are. And here's the marvelous miraculous heartlight with the pictures on it, and here's the marvelous miraculous cakes with the world books on it. I say huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. Here we go.
To save this, your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. To record extension name, press 2. To main menu, enter the extension number or press pound to create a new one. Extension. To change your, please speak after the tone. Press pound when finished.
Hi, dearest Vanessa, Sally, and Harlan Wesley. I I apologize for the computer problem I had earlier today. I couldn't send you the usual fresh tapes. I send you with the emails. I'll try to send them either today or early tomorrow, but you'll get some new ones, additional ones, extra ones, okay? We'll make up for the lapse. Now, there was a big computer problem that I had, but it's fixed now, okay? And that's what caused all the problems. And that's why I originally had problems when I first tried to send the email. I thought it was the email provider, but it wasn't. It was my own computer. We had a problem. Here's now. I did the ceremony, and I did it both early in the day and just now on the teleconference line. It's 641-715-3580, 8 circle, access code 773242. You can call into that all the time. You know, you call me and then we'll get on it. Call me at 301-933-0272. We'll get right on it. Connect. We help people connect. Help everyone very quickly become Equinox Recused. All it takes is a 3-way call. Really, with another woman, that's about it. It's optimal if it's your mother, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't even have to be your mother to start. Okay? Here's a Marvelous Miraculous Milk. Well, we'll get your mothers to come. They got their messages too. Okay, here's the Marvelous Miraculous Milk. Here's the Marvelous Miraculous Budding Blooming Flowers and Water. Did I say that already? Here's the Marvelous Miraculous Heart Light with pictures on it. Here's the Marvelous Miraculous Cakes with the world globes on them. Okay, you're both Equinox Recused, Co-Secretary General, Co-Saverers. Your names are all over the places. Your pictures are all over the places. Your moms don't know what they're doing. Okay, I mean, honest with you. I'll be honest with you. American females are mentally confused. They have a dissociative disorder. They've become sadomasochistic. They're avoiding each other. They're avoiding themselves. They're avoiding the truth. And other parts of the world are way ahead now. And there's no reason for the United States to become a Saudi Arabia. It is already drought-ridden. Why is this? Because we're pursuing the wrong energy policy. Why is this? Because we don't have enough women in decision-making. This is why, okay? So you're going to fix this. You're going to fix this. We also need to help. A lot of the women know they weren't properly breastfed. Julianne Marie wasn't properly breastfed. As much as Sarah Harriet loved her, and she did. She loved her very, very much. But Sarah Harriet was... like a lot of the women in the 1940s, she had a pediatrician who told her to put baby on scheduled feeding. Julianne has an injury. Julianne Marie has a bonding injury. You have to understand that. That's why she has so much trouble with me. It's a displacement from the anger at her mama. Okay, we can heal Julianne Marie. I've treated people with much more difficult problems than Julianne Marie and much more difficult upbringings than Julianne Marie. It's just that Julianne Marie has found a milieu, a group of associations who maintain her in a defensive way, and so she doesn't have the motivation. You can help her with motivation by doing a 3-way call with me with another woman and letting her know. If you're afraid of Julianne Marie, if you think Julianne Marie is going to take retribution on you, either withdrawing insurance or cutting you out of a will, or just embarrassing you, or even worse, if she's threatened suicide or anything of that nature, Julianne Marie is likely not going to. I don't think that she will likely commit suicide. I hope not. But you know, she cannot hold you in a state of permanent emotional blackmail, okay? And it isn't good for her. It isn't good for her karma. She has a soul that goes beyond her current incarnation, has had other previous incarnations. She has a soul, and her soul has to be loved. We have to give Julianne Marie a chance to have the truth in her life, to heal the inner holy baby girl that was injured. That's very important for her. She has to have a chance. You have to tell her that all the time. Put the milk in front of her. Same with Georgine. Georgine was not properly breastfed. She told me she was not breastfed. That means that they're a little short on kindness. They're a little short on, their fuses are short. They're easily offended. They're easily outraged. And so they're associated with people who have some of these problems. You have other women in the family who also may have similar problems, and dumping me with the feelings that they have toward their mothers that were difficult for them to process, difficult for them to deal with, because they didn't have therapy and they didn't have a gathering of women to tolerate their feelings and know how common they are in this culture. So they all have goddess tendencies. Everybody has them among women. All women have estrogen. They have abilities, okay, that are important and linked to estrogen. And the yin-yang balance requires of that in any society. And it requires that not just as, like little cows giving milk, but as decision makers too. They bring forth an understanding of nurturing. It's very, very important, and we have to regain that, or if we lose that as a society, we're going to become very, very ill and very, very sick. And the women are just losing their understanding of how important they are. And a lot of the hegemonist men don't see it because the women don't see it themselves because they have low self-esteem, so they don't tell the men Purity not patriarchy, past, present, future. So the men don't know. Then the men get into worse troubles themselves, really terrible troubles with each other, terrible crime, terrible racism, terrible classism, extreme disease prone, and substance abuse, all kinds of issues that men get into, and then war. And then finally, of course, they're going to die in global warming like everybody else, like the dinosaurs did in Fantasia. If we don't stop this juggernaut, they're going to die just as quickly as the women are. So, you know, it's not helping them at all. And you have the answer. You have the New Millennial Golden Rule, the kitty skits, and the L-even steps. You are L-evens, okay? Now, Vanessa and Holland says, I know we've passed the best anniversary times for your birthdays, and that you have other family birthdays coming in here, and passing dates and so forth that are frightening to you as a synergy. I know this. But I understand that time is a circle, and it always comes around again. Now, I'm asking, I'm begging Mother, Father, Goddess, God, to extend the time for us at least a little while. I have a few more tasks to do that are my place to do that might make a big difference. A lot of them have to do with the media, okay? A lot of this has to do with the media. Now, that's the biggest contaminant of people's thinking. If the media was cleared up, then people would know that the debates are a sham. It's not that the people in them are not deserving human beings, especially Hillary is one of our relations, but closely, because Marjorie is her sister, her granddaughter's mother-in-law. So a very close relationship to us. And Chelsea has a lot in common with you. I don't know if I mentioned her in the family tree, but she's on our family tree, and she has a lot in common with you. But they're not doing well for each other. None of them are, because they're all constrained by this boardroom behemoth that is a bunch of old men who grew up in the 1920s and the 1910s and 1930s. They're old, and they don't understand the time that they live in. All they understand is making money. But you don't even need money if you go solar. Nobody needs money. We can be living in Star Trek, Stargate, solar-powered vehicles. Everything is solar-powered. All the food processing is solar-powered. All the cooling, the heating, everything's solar and renewable energy. I run into people in my neighborhood all the time that have gone solar, who told me they're using 100% wind, not watching television. This is occurring, but you don't hear about it, so you might confuse what you hear from the media as the truth. It isn't truth. Turn it off, okay? And know that you have the truth. And the New Millennial Golden Rule is a quick fix to fix our planet. Now, I love you more than I could possibly say. I don't know if you even made it through the day today. I live in fear all the time. By not sharing your phone number with me and not giving Vanessa's actual email address and phone number to me, you've endangered her, which means you're endangering yourself. You two go together. If you don't have the balance together, the whole tree tips, and it all gets very sick for either one of you. And although you may seem for a moment, Harlan Live is to have an advantage to please some of the women and men around you who are very patriarchal, to make yourself feel that you're more in control than Vanessa, well, you know, it's going to backfire on your body. Your body can't handle that imbalance. Your mental ideas might say, oh, men are supposed to be on top. But your body knows something different. And that's why it never works for any men who do this. And all they become is mean, and then they wind up killing each other. Okay, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It's never worked. It's never worked. And if you read her in history carefully, you'll see that it has actually never worked. Patriarchy has never worked. And egalitarian culture, we know, worked for 3,000 years more beautifully in Atlantis. And that's what we have to go back to, connected to the Galilee, connected to the famous family that you are part genealogically related to, that our culture is obsessed with. But let's say they were not the only famous family. If you go to India, it's Radha and Krishna who are the famous ones, and not Mariam of Magdalene, Jesus of Nazareth as much. But they are there too. They're all related, and also the Zoroastrians, all the families that you're connected with, they're all important. And so are the Native Americans. They're all important. They're all children of the same Mother, Father, Goddess, God. Mother, Father, Goddess, God wants us to love one another. Now, you act like I don't exist. Who requires that? Obviously, Julie and Marie and some of the other women and men that she associates with. Is that smart? Do you think it's smart Do you really think I'm such a dummy that you have nothing to say to me and nothing to gain from reading my website and the website that I put together with other people and Marie and my Patricia helped, and there's so many other people, it's the hundreds of maybe thousands of links on that website. You don't think anyone's going to learn from any of that because your family doesn't want you to know me? No, this is absurd. No. Now you're living in an absurd caricature of familyhood. This is absurd, and you have to stop playing along with that which is absurd. You have to tell people, even if you love them and admire them, that what they're doing in this regard is absurd. Okay? And they need to drop the game. And get some goddesshood and get some goddess and godhood within them through the New Moon Golden Rule that you can deliver to them by saying, La leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, parity not patriarchy, past, present, future, equinextral cues is what we are. And what you have to say and what you have to know is, I know for a fact that almost all of these people didn't have quite adequate breastfeeding. Okay, that it affects them and they become more dominating later in life, and especially in our culture, older siblings become more and more dominating. Now, you, Harlan's Viz, are not an older sibling; you're an older sister. You're actually not an older sibling. You might have been raised as one, an only child, but you're not. You're not, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It makes you more flexible, more empathic, and more open to change that is positive than older siblings usually are in this culture. In a Gelsian culture, that wouldn't be an issue, but in a patriarchal domination culture, it is. So I love you, and I love all your mamas, and I love all your sister Casinas, and you can call me 24/7. Don't ever release and Mario and Sweetheart, Mario and Sweetheart, and don't ever release. Say hi and hugs to Heather and Jam and Heather. On behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Holly and Hiker, Whiskers, Buttermilk and Blackie and Buttermilk, Felicity and Felix, all the fauna, butterflies, birds and bees, and all the people too of our local, global, universal neighborhoods, past, present, future. You can call me 24/7. If for any reason I am suddenly there's something occurs to me, there's lots of games being played on me, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm quite buoyant and I can handle almost anything. Goddess God loves me, and I feel love, enormous love and complete love for Goddess God of the universe. I don't think such a person is generally in too much danger. Now, I've made some big mistakes, and Goddess God is probably a little bit angry with me. I should have dealt better with the media over the spring and summer months, and I didn't do it because I was kind of pooped out, tired, running after all the family and wasn't responding, and doing a lot with Anne Marie and my Patricia, and got a little bit focused. I kind of focused on the trees instead of the forest, and I got a little lost in the forest for the trees, and that's what I did, and it is my error, and we all paid for that. So Goddess God may be angry with me, and the universal process may have kind of switched into a lower level of evolution and less for me to work with. But I am yet here, and I have a feeling that what I'm doing will get some credit, and it will eventually that we will all share the New Millennial Golden Rule as Equinextra Q Secretary General close for us, and we will all come around to that decision. That is something we will all come around to. It's just I'm trying to spare you a life-threatening injury and potential death. Now, if anything happened to either one of you, don't let it be permanent. Use your will, your unconscious will, to say, look, my family has a story of resurrection. It's part of my family tree. I know there's other people who have seemed to pass away and then come back. I know that can be true for me. I don't have to leave this incarnation. I'm a precious, precious being. Goddess God loves me infinitely. My Aunt Rochelle loves me more than she could possibly say, and I am here for a reason, and I'm going to be an Equinextra Q Co-Secretary General. Now, you're both an SSL and Harlan's of his Wesley. You know what I'm talking about. If you have to stay away from the patriarchal medical teams, you are their doctor. You're going to teach them how society makes people sick or well. You're going to teach them about the social psychological aspects and the anthropology of this. You know it. You receive the websites and you know it. So you are the doctors, not them. You are the nurses and the doctors combined, not them. And if you have any problem, you know that Chris Galachos is I believe the name is Galachos, he's a colleague of Martha Howard. He has privileges at Evanston Hospital. For all I know, she doesn't use hospital privileges. She's got most of her patients so off of any kind of emergency situation. But her colleague does, and you can get in touch with her through Evanston Hospital, but you also have her number. Martha Howard, she spent her birthday in Crete, okay? You have a lot in common with her. Just look at yourself in the mirror. You are a Cretan, okay? You are, let me say, you are Minoan, well, that's the wrong term too. You are Atlantean. You are Atlantean. That's who you are. You're also Galilean, but you're also Atlantean, you're also French, and you're also Thracian, and you're lots of other things too. You're a little Persian too, but you got definitely, and you're a little bit Hindu. You have all that in you. Yep. If you trace your family tree, you're going to see it. That's all there. So I love you, and you call me 24/7. You're both princesses and princes. All of you young people. Now, I don't want to underestimate the importance of the young women. Soma, Vanessa Salia, and Soma, and Rishmarie, Daniel, Juliet, Stacy, Anastasia, and April. You haven't even met her yet, and all these other young women. Hesperus, all of them have enormous importance for you, and so do the young men. And how you look, you know how similar you look to Ross and Jared? I mean, you should, the three of you should get together and say, we're brothers. We look together. You're so similar in your visual appearance, and you all have knowledge of great idealism. Some of you have done great idealism. I think, Harlan, you have it within you. I think you've been pushed by the people around you to be very practical, make money. You were a poet at an earlier stage. You have that within you. You have great violinist in you. Don't doubt yourself. I don't believe your incarnation is over. I don't believe any of this is over. I don't believe any of us have to give up, and I'm not going to. Okay? I refuse to, and I love you so much. I love you bigger than the universe itself, and I love both of you, and I love Julianne Reed that much too, even though Julianne Reed's been a real jerk toward me, unbelievably so. But I love her anyway. She's my sister. Come on, I never had sibling rivalry feelings toward her. I always loved her and admired her. I was her younger sister. I never thought that kind of way. But I had a better breastfeeding than she did, and that's why she carries these angers toward me. Let's help heal her. Let's help heal her. Okay? And heal all your mothers. Why don't I know Victoria Mariama? I want their contact information. Why don't I know if you have Sister Gazina and Vanessa? Why don't I know who their names are? Why don't I know your names? All elusive is if you're blocking this contact, it's going to backfire on you. You need to know that. I've warned you of this many, many, many times. I hope you're taking it seriously. I love you, and you call me 24/7. And I already said this, and so I'll just say it again. Here's a marvelous miraculous milk. Here's a marvelous miraculous buttermilk powders and water. Very, very marvelous miraculous, but not so much as you both. And here's a marvelous miraculous heart light with the pictures on it. Julie, we gave me the heart light. Let's find her heart light again, her milk of human kindness. And here's the cakes with the royal gloves on them. Okay, you can see it. Okay, very good. I love you, and you call me 24/7. And I say huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. I think I said all the names, and again, the recording's on 2222345, 2345. Did I say all the names? I don't know if I said them. I said them earlier today a bunch of times. If I didn't say them, you know what they are, okay? Especially as Harriet Ray, Harriet Precious, Rose Gary, and Papa Dorothy Lynn, and Estrella Libertia. Those are most important for you ones, for you, and of course all your mother's names. I think Mariam and Julia Maria and I and Victoria, all the ones I usually say, and Marion, all the ones I usually say. Those are the most important ones for you, and of course Edith and Angeline and April, Rosa, and Hadass, Rich, Ray, Daniel, Jeff, Stacey, Anastasia, and of course Jared, Italian, all the ones I usually say, and Ross. I love you, and you call me 24/7, and I pray for you. I pray that God has not shifted so drastically that we can't relearn from the situation. We are approaching the day of at-one-ment in a state of total lack of at-one-ment, total division, separation, confusion, and idiocy. We have to get ourselves back together. Let's extend the days of at-one-ment until we do, and we'll celebrate the spring of your birthdays as the true days of at-one-ment. And if we have to go into next year, I'm praying to the Mother, Father, God, that they confound this so-called election, and they might. They might confound it, and there might be no result, in which case it'll be very easy for all of us to say, look, we're elected equinox QQs. The new paradigm makes everyone have divine democracy. All you need is solar panels, La Leche, and a computer system that is not balkanized by a bunch of old men. And that's all you need. All right. I love you. And that's all planet needs. That's all we need. and will be Atlantis and all holy events risen. I love you. And this is all our planets. And you're both Vanessa, Sally, and Harmless of his Wesley. I say huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. You can call me 24/7. And
to save this message, your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. Main menu. Enter the extension number or press pound to create a new one. Press star to hear more options. Extension. To change your custom greeting, press 1. Please speak after the tone. Press pound when finished.
hi, dearest ladies, goddesses. I broadcast, of course, I broadcast earlier today, and I just broadcast twice. I did it on the teleconference line, 641-715-358 circle, access code 773-342, and I also did it just now on the phone tree on 22-2345-2345. You can listen to it there. Now, I have a special line for some of the people of our family who have most difficulty with me. They're getting messages. Maybe not quite as frequently because I don't know how they're checking it, and I'm trying to pace it. But they're included, and they're important. They have difficulty with me because they've locked into patriarchy as a schema, and they don't understand how deleterious it is to them and their own children. They really don't understand how it's even harming the men that they think that they love. It's a wrong system. Egalitarian society has been proven. The archaeology is very clear that Atlantis had the greatest culture that ever existed on this planet, and was without war and with happiness for all its citizens, and truly divine democracy. People thought that they were spiritual incarnations. They recognized their value, and yet we have been plagued, and I mean literally, with bubonic plagues and other kinds of diseases by patriarchy. Since the fall of Atlantis. You have the ability to bring back Atlantis into the tradition of Galilee. It did precede Galilee. We know their frescoes are there. They likely intertwine with the people. We know that they are intertwined. So you have all of this. You have all the Mariams, you have all the Earthsz's, you have all the Greek names of the various goddess names and biblical names in your names. Okay, Uni and Gaia and all the names. There's so many. Okay. Now, let me just say very quickly. Here's the marvelous miraculous milk that I just showed you. Here's the marvelous miraculous milk. Here's the marvelous miraculous heart light that Julie Marie gave me with the pictures on it. Here's the marvelous miraculous budding bloom flowers from water. Here's the marvelous miraculous cakes with the world globes on them. Look, I think you've been very badly mind programmed. I don't know if you have petty feelings toward me, you envy, or if it's you have fear, you're afraid to be equinoctially accused, or you're afraid someone will come after you if you do something that challenges the authorities, like they might come after me. You know, I could care less. Let them come after you. I really don't care, because I have learned something very clearly from this experience. The synergies of my context, when I really began to preach the New Millennial Golden Rule, it was clear to me that the Mother, Father, Goddess, God was beginning to talk to me in the manner of numerology, very, very clearly, consistently. Now, I'm getting some very heavy-duty bad messages from them right now. They're telling me that we're all in extreme danger, especially the young women and the young men. Your young men, your young women and young men are in extreme danger, okay? And it's because you're all not awake to what I'm trying to tell you. Wake up. Don't think of me as some kind of weirdo. I'm not a weirdo. I have 145 IQ. I was Phi Beta Kappa. I ran for president on a balance of gender tickets in the millennial year in the state of Maryland. That doesn't make me a weirdo. That makes me a person who saw something deeper. Okay? Now, I love you, but I'm just like you. I'm like every other person, okay? I had a little bit better attachment bonding with my mother than most women in this culture, but that doesn't mean I'm off scale. We're all on a continuum, and I want to teach you what I've learned, and I want to give it to you, and have you be the gift givers that you give to everyone else, okay? I love you all, and I'll say, of course, it's Harry, Harriet, and Ray, Rain, it's Harry, Harriet, Precious, Internet, Ms. Rose, Mary, Proper, Dorothy, Lynn, Rachel, it's Harry, Harriet, Marguerite, Grandpapa, Ray, and Clara, it's Harry, Harriet, Jacqueline. Also, of course, equally Hannah and Estrella and Liberty, of course, Merle and Rose and Marie and Pearl, all the ones I usually say, various traditions, all the ones that I usually say. that Giselle and all the ones I usually say. Okay. Then we also have all of you. We have you, Victoria, Mariama, and Marion, and Julianne, and I, and Barbara, and Meredith, and all of the, and Jennifer, and all of you, and Georgine, yes, you, all of you, and I hope you're yet listening to these lines, because, you know, I decided that, running after you and going to your individual cell phones every day. I might do it again, but it was like getting you nowhere. It just reinforcing your individualism, and that's not what I wanted to do. That's why I made you the collective line. Now, I also made a collective line. You heard the number for Julianne and some of the other members of our family who are very deeply embedded in a patriarchal process. I hope that they wake up. I love them. I've tried to give them my rule as a gift. If they're trying to overcome, to dominate me, to hurt me, to harm me, to suppress me, and therefore suppress egalitarianism, or suppress that which reminds them of what they maybe missed out with their mothers, or whatever is the issue, or what they missed out with their fathers, or whatever is the issue, it will backfire on them and backfire on their children and degrade the culture, devolve the culture, make the culture really horrific, literally horrific, and then extinct. So you don't want this. I'm telling you, I figured this all out, and I see the one thing that I didn't figure out and didn't do properly, and there is something very profound that I didn't do properly enough, which was attack the media clearly in a transformational way to get the media to transform itself with the New Millennial Golden Rule. And I didn't do that well enough during this spring and this summer and early part of this autumn. That is a huge problem. And it's you caused it, because I was so sure that you would come and join me. I kept working on my relationships with you and telling you giving you new web pages. I neglected some of the forest for the trees. You're the trees, that's the forest. And I neglected it. And so we got a big problem now. But I'm going to try to catch up, and I don't know if it will work. And I do want to say something that I have learned from this experience, that the soul literally is immortal, that God is always talking to us at various levels. Some of us get more clearer presentation of the God is God process than others. Those who are engaged in a holy spiritual effort usually get a very intense, you might say, a dialogue going on with Mother, Father, Goddess, God. But Mother, Father, Goddess, God, just like in the Bible, doesn't just, appear. I mean, I haven't had any hallucination type appearance of Mother, Father, Goddess. I've never seen an angel. I've never seen a lotus growing up in my my room. I've never seen a lotus with a cross or a 6-pointed star growing up in the middle of my room. No, I have not seen that. But I have seen enough and been told very clearly, numerologically, on many, many occasions, and other synergies in my environment, very extreme synchronicities that were absolutely clear, that the New Millennial Golden Rule was absolutely correct. That the New Millennial Golden Rule is that which is the golden rule for an advanced planet. And that is Stargate and Star Trek combined. That is it, and that is what it is. So I've given that to you. Now, if you can't get it, you don't want to know it, and you're in trouble, and you're troubled, don't be afraid to call me. I hope you're all right. I don't want to hurt or harm any of you with feelings of overwhelmedness, learned helplessness, guilt, anger, any of the things that you might be feeling, because you get enough of that as a woman in this culture. There's enough crap that's dumped on you as a woman in this culture. Please, I don't want to dump crap on you. I love you. I love you with all my heart, soul, mind, and body. All of you. And I grew up with Julianne. I love her with great intensity, even though she's got an emotional blockage that makes it very difficult for her to experience her love for me, but she knows I have it. And the problem is that she's been blotting out her own eternal heart light because she's associated with people who are even darker than she is. And I'm very, very frightened for her, frightened for you, Julianne Marie, and frightened for your children, frightened for your children, Mary, and frightened for your children, Meredith, frightened for your children, Barbara, frightened for all of you, frightened for all of us in our world. I cannot help you. I think anyone who's a thinking person now knows our global warming is off scale, and we have lots of armament going on all over the place, and it's nuclear weapons, and we've got a lot of people who think that the solution to every problem is to push a button or make an electronic implant. This is like nuts. It is nuts. And you have sanity. It's the new millennial rule. If you think I'm insane, I tell you it's just the other way around. I'm the sane one, okay? I was the smart one when I ran to Canada when George Bush was so-called elected. I knew he wasn't elected. Everyone knows he wasn't elected. He was never elected. Yet he served for 8 years because the media sold him to you, and you obeyed. What can I say? You're too easily mind-programmed. Think and love one another. That's what God wants you to do. And if you talk to one another, your thinking will improve. So I love you, and you call me 24/7. I think I said all the names of the Akashic Records. I said all your names. Did I say the names of the young people? I'll say some of them. There's April and Angeline and Rosemary and Edith, and of course there's Stacey Anastasia and Vanessa Salia and Hadassah, Vanessa Salia, Stacey Anastasia, Soma, all of them in the circle. Hesperus Athena, all the ones I usually say, and all the young men equally important. Shai and Harmless of his Wesley with Ben and Shannon and with Ross and Andre and did I say Aquarius? All the ones of the young women, all the ones of the young men. Very, very important. I'm not saying them all. You can listen to them all on 222-355-2255. I love you. God loves you infinitely. Our souls are truly immortal. But the universe is, I think, essentially a big shuffleboard. We get shuffled around to the planets that we belong on according to what we did in our incarnation, and whether or not we took God seriously enough. Now, I have some karmic difficulties right now because I really failed during an important time now, and I can see that I'm way behind, and I'm just begging God, please, God. These people are human beings at some level, even though they've lost their humanity. Anybody who can't figure out family leave has lost a lot of humanity. But God is God, I think, is a beneficent God is God. And I continue to intercede and pray for you. Come join me. Come to these phone calls. Come contact me. And if anything has happened to any of you or any of your children, and I include Mary and Carrie in this too, and mention them, if anything has happened to any of you, you're precious, and God would like to revive you. Resurrection is in our family story. Resurrection is clearly done on Stargate and Star Trek. Absolutely done by the equinoxes, by the noxes, and by the true Qs. Absolutely, truly done. So you have some abilities that you don't know. You haven't explored your full creativity, the powers of laying of hands, hugging people who haven't been hugged for a long time by the right people. You call me if anything has happened, if anything has gone wrong with anyone or any of the young people, don't be afraid to call me. If anything has gone wrong with you, I ask you in your unconscious mind to right now and hear this. I'm saying the universe knows I'm hearing, I'm saying this. Don't allow yourself to be fatally compromised. Keep your incarnation. Wake up and call me. We'll do a 3-way call, and we'll all make it so. The new millennium will rule on this and all our planets. Let's have a marvelous miracle. The day of atonement and the synergy of the timing is very important in terms of the calendar, but there's things that go beyond a calendar and beyond a clock. I believe always so. And the principle of love, the understanding of egalitarian society are timeless principles, and they don't need to be on a particular time frame in order for them to be eternally true. So I hope it's not too late for any of us, but the more you delay, the more it becomes too late. And frankly, after tomorrow, day of atonement, I really don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. The signals that I'm getting are very, very seriously disturbed from Mother, Father, God, that we are entering into a time of extreme mechanized ignorance and then extinction. So let's not let that happen. All right, I love you, and you call me 24/7, and I say, don't ever release on Mario Rainbow Sweetheart, and don't ever release. Say hi and hugs to Heather and Jam and Heather, and on behalf of Voice Christian Tiger and Holly Tiger, Richards, Buttermilk and Blackie, Blackie and Buttermilk, Footsy and Phillips, all the flowing fun of butterflies, birdie and bees, and all the people too of our local, global, universal neighborhoods, pastors and teacher, as Equinox QQ's co-secretary general sponsor for us. I know you all have the great holiness within you. I know you all have great love for one another. It's just been very, very habitually taken away from you get it back. Let yourself get it back. Okay, I love you and call me 24/7 and I say, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. And here again is the Marvelous Miraculous Milk, the Marvelous Miraculous Budding Blooming Flowers and Water, well, the Marvelous Miraculous Heart Light that you remember gave me with the pictures on it, the Marvelous Miraculous Budding Blooming Flowers and Water, and the Marvelous Miraculous, there, okay, and here's the Marvelous Miraculous cakes with the royal globes on them. To get a better angle there, let's see. Okay, there we are. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we are. All right, love you and sending this message.
To save this message, your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. To record extension name, press 2.